K. Danino. Fear is a universal experience. Even the smallest insect feels it. We wade in the tidal pools and put our finger near the soft, open bodies of sea anemones, and they close up. Everything spontaneously does that. We react against the possibility of loneliness, of death, of not having anything to hold on to. Fear is a natural reaction to moving closer to the truth. What we're talking about is getting to know fear, becoming familiar with fear, looking it right in the eye, not as a way to solve problems, but as a complete undoing of old ways. Instructions of mindfulness or working with energy all point to the same thing. Being right on the spot nails us. When we stop there and don't act out, don't repress, don't blame it on anyone else, and also don't blame it on ourselves, then we meet with an open-ended question that has no conceptual answer. We also encounter our heart. As one student so eloquently put it, Buddha nature, cleverly designed as fear, kicks our ass into being receptive. No one ever tells us to stop running away from fear. We are very rarely told to move closer, just to be there, to become familiar with fear. I once asked the Zen master Kobunshino Roshi how he related with fear, and he said, I agree. But the advice we usually get is to sweeten it up, smooth it over, take a pill or distract ourselves, but by all means, make it go away. Sometimes, however, we are cornered. Everything falls apart and we run out of options for escape. At times like that, the most profound spiritual truth seems pretty straightforward and ordinary. When I was about 10, my best friend started having nightmares. She'd be running through a huge dark building pursued by hideous monsters. She'd get to a door, struggle to open it, and no sooner had she closed it behind her than she'd hear it opened by the monsters. Finally, she'd wake up screaming and crying for help. One day, we were sitting in her kitchen talking about her nightmares. When I asked her what the demons looked like, she said she didn't know because she was always running away. But she began to wonder about the monsters. So, on the next occurrence of the nightmare, as the demons were pursuing her, she stopped running and turned around. It took tremendous courage, and her heart was pounding, but she put her back up against the wall and looked at them. They all stopped right in front of her and began jumping up and down, but none of them came closer. There were 5 of them. One was a gray bear, but instead of claws, it had long red fingernails. One had 4 eyes. Another had a wound on its cheek. Then, slowly, they began to fade. She woke up, and that was the end of her nightmares. So the next time you encounter fear, consider yourself lucky. This is where the courage comes in. Usually, we think that brave people have no fear. The truth is that they are intimate with fear. The trick is to keep exploring and not bail out. Compassion, love, courage. These are code words for things we don't know in our minds, but any of us could experience them when we let things fall apart and let ourselves be nailed to the present moment.